Sunrise comes slowly on Mars. It is never rushed here. Light does not snap on, and day does not arrive with noise. Instead, a soft glow begins to spread across the edge of the sky, turning the faint darkness into a gentle red and then into a quiet golden haze. Inside one of the habitat domes, the world is still half asleep. The air is warm and steady, with just a hint of coolness near the floor. Filters hum softly in the walls, the sound so constant and gentle that it feels like a distant river, always flowing, always there. If you listen carefully, you might notice the tiniest shifts in tone as small valves adjust and pumps slow down and speed up with the rhythm of the colony's breath. In a small living pod built against the inner curve of the dome, a person is lying in a cocoon-shaped bed. His name is Kale. He is not completely awake yet, but not fully asleep either. He is in that soft, quiet place where dreams and reality blend into one smooth, warm feeling. The cocoon senses the change in his breathing. It feels the way his chest rises a little deeper, the way his muscles stretch, the way the tension in his face slowly loosens. The bed responds with a faint vibration, as soft as a sigh. The temperature rises by just 1 single degree, enough to tell the body that it is morning, without any rush, without any urgency. Above Kale, the ceiling slowly brightens. Tiny microlights in the surface of the material begin to glow, first like distant stars, then like a pale early sunrise. The light is warm and golden, not harsh, not direct. It spreads like watercolor across the curved ceiling, gently dimming the last traces of simulated night. Kale opens his eyes. For a moment, he does not move at all. He simply lies there, feeling the soft weight of the blanket over his body, feeling the gentle support of the cocoon beneath his back, feeling the slow pull of Mars's weaker gravity holding him in place. His body feels light, comfortable, as if the bed itself is floating in a warm, invisible sea. He takes a slow, deep breath. The air is clean and faintly scented with something herbal, something green. The habitat system diffuses a very light aroma from the communal gardens at dawn, just enough to remind every resident that even here, on this red and rocky world, life grows and breathes. It is a small ritual of the colony, a way of saying good morning without any words. "Good morning, Kale," a soft voice says. It comes not from a speaker, not from any visible device, but from the very air around him. The voice is calm, feminine, and warm. It belongs to Luma, the AI caretaker assigned to his sector of the dome. Kale smiles faintly without opening his mouth yet. He feels no need to answer right away. He just lies there, letting the voice settle in his chest like a gentle echo. Outside the pod, beyond the curved wall, the first rays of sunlight are touching the dome. On Mars, the sun is smaller, a concentrated point of pale golden light. Through the protective shield of the dome, that light becomes soft and diffused, washing the interior in shades of muted amber and dusty rose. It feels like an endless early morning, forever slow, forever gentle. "You have no fixed tasks for the next cycle," Luma continues quietly. "Hydro garden maintenance is optional. Atmospheric reading review is scheduled but flexible. You may rest as long as you like." Kale finally lets his lips part. His voice is low and a little rough from sleep. "Thank you, Luma. Start the dawn sequence, please." The cocoon responds with a barely audible hum. The blanket loosens around his body and folds back like a quiet wave. The mattress gradually changes its firmness, gently encouraging him to roll onto his side and then to sit up. The floor beside the bed warms, inviting his bare feet to touch it. When Kale places his feet on the floor, he can feel the softness of the material. It is not hard metal, it is not hard plastic. It is a flexible, slightly cushioned surface that yields just enough with his weight, then springs back slowly, almost like moss. The warmth rises through his skin in a pleasant, steady way. He stretches his arms overhead. His muscles lengthen, and the light pull of Martian gravity makes his limbs feel free and long. On Earth, stretching always felt heavier, like he was pushing against something. Here, it feels more like floating into a new shape. The ceiling above him clears into full transparency. Now he can see the sky outside the dome, painted in gradients of red, peach, and pale gold. Fine dust hangs in the air, carried by winds beyond the protective shell, but from inside it looks like slow-moving fog drifting gently over the empty plains. He rests his elbows on his knees for a moment and just watches. The horizon is smooth, with only low hills and distant ancient craters breaking the line. There are no trees, no buildings, no busy roads, only the red dust of Mars and the soft curve of the planet beneath it. "Luma," Kale says softly, "what is the exterior temperature?" "Currently -62 degrees, she replies in a whisper. "Wind speed is low. Visibility is clear beyond the dome." He nods, even though she does not need the gesture. He likes to acknowledge her as if she were physically in the room. To him, she is another presence in this quiet world, a companion woven into the sound of the walls. He stands, feeling the slow pull of gravity beneath him. His steps are light and quiet as he moves toward the curved doorway that leads into the main living area. Panels in the walls sense his approach and brighten a little, like candles being lit in sequence along a corridor. The main room is simple, uncluttered, and gentle. A low seating platform is built along the base of a wide window that looks out over the Martian landscape. Soft cushions lie scattered along it, in shades of deep blue and muted green, little reminders of Earth's oceans and forests. A small table grows seamlessly from the floor, its surface smooth and slightly warm to the touch. On one side of the room, a vertical garden rises from floor to ceiling. Thin streams of water trickle slowly behind its translucent face, feeding lines of roots and stems. Leaves of different shapes and textures stretch toward the artificial sunlight panels above. Some are broad and flat, dark green with a waxy shine. Others are narrow, pale, and delicate, almost translucent around the edges. The air here smells faintly of wet soil and plant life. It is subtle but constant, grounding the space with the quiet memory of forests and gardens. In the gentle light of the simulated morning, the leaves cast soft, overlapping shadows on the wall, moving very slightly when the ventilation system sends a slow wave of air through the room. Kale steps to a small counter built into the wall. A recessed alcove lights up, revealing a clear glass cup already waiting for him. Inside, clear water is infused with a hint of pale greenish color. Luma has prepared his morning tea, a blend of Martian-grown herbs chosen to calm the nervous system and slowly wake the mind. He picks up the cup. The glass is pleasantly warm, not hot. Tiny curls of steam rise from the surface, fading into the air like quiet sighs. He holds the cup near his face and breathes in, closing his eyes for just a moment. The scent is gentle and layered, a hint of mint, something like chamomile, and a soft, earthy note that he thinks of as Martian, though it is really just the unique blend of local minerals and recycled water filtered through the roots of plants. It is familiar, comforting, and deeply peaceful. He takes a small sip. The taste is mild and clean, with a faint sweetness that lingers on his tongue. Nothing is too strong here. Flavors are quiet, like everything else, encouraging slow, thoughtful sips instead of hurried gulps. Cup in hand, Cale moves to the seating platform by the window. He settles onto the cushions, leaning his back against the cool curve of the wall. From here, he can see almost the entire stretch of the exterior dome, the red world beyond, and the faint arcs of neighboring domes connected by slender tunnels. Outside, the light is growing stronger now, but still remains soft and filtered. Shadows of the dome's support beams stretch over the sand, long and gentle. The solar arrays, arranged in neat rows beyond the habitat, glint faintly as they angle themselves toward the rising sun. In the distance, tiny maintenance drones move along the dome's outer surface, their lights blinking softly like slow stars. Cale sips his tea in silence. The warmth travels down his throat and spreads through his chest, making his body feel even more relaxed. He feels no rush, no schedule pressing at the edge of his awareness. Time on Mars moves differently, not in tight blocks, but in wide, calm stretches. "Would you like exterior audio?" Luma asks quietly. "Yes," he murmurs, low volume. The sound system in the room adjusts. For a moment, there is only silence. Then, very softly, a faint whooshing begins to fill the air. It is the sound of the wind outside the dome, captured by sensitive microphones, filtered and softened. Mars's wind is thin but persistent. It slides over the dome's surface, brushing against its structure with a slow, even rhythm. Through the filters, it sounds like a distant, slow ocean, not crashing waves, but long, steady breaths. The sound rises gently, then falls, then rises again, like a planet exhaling in its sleep. Cale closes his eyes and listens. Every breath he takes seems to match the rhythm of that distant wind. Inhale as it rises, exhale as it fades. The harmony between his body and the world around him feels effortless and deep. "You can imagine," the soft voice of Luma says, "the sand moving beyond the dome, each grain sliding over another, slowly, gently, carried by the thin air." Cale lets his mind drift outwards with her words. He imagines himself standing out there, on the open plain, feeling the cool sharpness of the air against his face, the light tug of gravity under his feet, the immensity of the sky above him. Even though he knows he is safe inside, wrapped in warmth and oxygen, he enjoys picturing the stark beauty of the planet outside. The emptiness is not frightening to him. It is peaceful, clean, and vast, a kind of silence that holds space for thoughts to become soft and quiet. After a while, his teacup is empty. He sets it down on the small table, hearing the gentle, solid sound of glass meeting smooth surface. The room remains still, the only motion the slow dance of shadows from the leaves on the wall. "What is the garden's status, Luma?" he asks softly. "All systems are stable. Moisture levels are optimal. Light cycles are on schedule. Several new buds have formed on the citrus hybrids in Lane 3. Would you like to visit?" "Yes," he says. "I'd like to walk there today." He rises from the cushions and moves to the door set into the side wall. It slides open without a sound, revealing a narrow corridor lit by gentle bands of light along the floor. The air in the corridor is cooler, with a slight metallic scent from the structural supports, but still soft and comfortable. As he walks, the floor beneath his feet makes no noise. Panels register the pressure of each step, storing a tiny amount of energy from his movements. Every gesture, every walk, every shift is part of the colony's balance, feeding small pieces of motion back into its network. The corridor opens into a circular junction space. From here, several other corridors branch out, leading to different parts of the dome: communal areas, other living pods, observatories, tech bays, and the large central garden. The junction is decorated with simple, calming art, slowly moving light patterns projected onto the walls, resembling waves, clouds, or drifting sand. Kale pauses for a moment in the center, enjoying the patterns. The lights glide from one side of the room to the other, with no sharp edges, no flashing, just long, smooth movements. The colors shift between pale blues, warm golds, and soft greens, mimicking Earth's sky and sea. He takes the corridor marked by a small symbol of a leaf and a droplet, the sign for the garden. As he steps inside, the light changes subtly. It becomes a little brighter, but still gentle, like sunlight filtered through tree branches. He can already smell the garden from here, a mix of damp soil, plant life, and a faint floral sweetness. The corridor opens wide into the central greenhouse dome. This space is larger than the residential pods, with a higher ceiling and broad, curved walls that arch overhead, like the inside of a vast, living shell. Along the floor, rows of plant beds stretch out, each one filled with carefully arranged soil and hydrogel mixtures. Some beds are raised, reaching up to Kale's waist, easy to tend without bending too much. Others are lower, forming soft green carpets that he can walk beside. In one section, small trees reach upward, their branches spreading into delicate networks of leaves. In another, clusters of broad-leafed plants create pockets of shade and depth. Water trickles gently through thin, transparent channels mounted above the beds. Droplets form and fall, landing softly on leaves, on soil, on small stones. The sound is like a constant, quiet rain, but so soft that it feels more like a memory of rain than the real thing. Light panels overhead adjust slowly, shifting from pale morning gold to a soft white that mimics midday on Earth. For the plants, this is important. For Kale, it is simply soothing, reminding him of warm days he once spent in real gardens under a distant blue sky. He walks along one of the paths, his fingers brushing lightly over the leaves closest to the edge. They are cool and slightly damp, smooth under his touch. Some have a faint texture, like a fine grid where the plant's veins lie beneath the surface. His fingertips remember each sensation. A small maintenance bot glides past him, moving on quiet magnetic treads along a rail set into the floor. Its body is compact and rounded, with soft edges and no sharp corners. It hums gently, scanning the plants with a pale blue beam, checking for changes in growth or health. As it passes Kale, it tilts slightly, as if in a small greeting. "Good morning," it says in a light, neutral tone. Kale smiles and nods. "Good morning," he replies. He moves toward Lane 3, where Luma mentioned the citrus hybrids. These are small trees, not much taller than his chest, with thin, gracefully curved trunks. Their leaves are glossy and deep green, catching the light in soft reflections. Among the leaves, small, pale buds have appeared, some already starting to open into delicate white flowers. He leans in to smell them. The fragrance is gentle but clear, with hints of lemon and something sweeter, almost like vanilla. It is the kind of scent that makes a person close their eyes and breathe just a little deeper. Kale does exactly that. You can imagine, he thinks, or perhaps almost whispers, standing here with me close to these tiny flowers. You might notice how the air feels just a little cooler beside the leaves, how the scent wraps around you like a soft cloud. You might feel your shoulders dropping, your chest loosening, as if the flowers themselves are telling you it's safe to rest. He checks the moisture level in the soil by placing his hand on a small sensor embedded at the base of one tree. The sensor glows a gentle green, indicating that everything is perfect. No rush, no correction needed. The system is in balance. Time slides by in the garden. Kale walks slowly between the rows, sometimes adjusting a plant's position, sometimes trimming a leaf, sometimes just standing still and listening to the soft sounds of the space. Small, high chimes ring occasionally when a system cycle completes or when a micro-adjustment is made to the artificial sunlight. The sound is delicate, like a single drop of glass falling on still water. Other colonists move quietly in the distance. Their voices are low and relaxed when they speak at all. Most of the time, they seem to simply exist within the garden, just as Kale does, letting the atmosphere calm their breathing and smooth their thoughts. No one hurries here. Eventually, Kale feels a gentle, warm vibration in the bracelet on his wrist. It is a subtle reminder that the day is moving toward its softer hours. The colony does not hold strict schedules, but it offers gentle hints for rest, meals, and quiet moments. He looks up toward the light panels. They are already beginning to shift from the bright, soft white of midday to the warmer, deeper tones of afternoon. Shadows grow longer among the plant beds. Colors deepen. The garden feels like it is breathing out, releasing the last energy of the day in a slow, contented sigh. Kale smiles to himself, gives the nearest tree a light, affectionate touch, and turns back toward the corridor. As he walks, the air slowly changes again, a little drier, a little cooler, with less of the earthy scent and more of the quiet metallic tone of the living structure. The subtle change is comforting. Each part of the dome has its own feeling, its own mood. He passes through the junction once more, watching the flowing patterns on the wall. Now they are warmer, softer, as if reflecting the afternoon light. He pauses a moment, letting his eyes follow the slow drift of color, then continues down the corridor toward his living pod. When he enters, the room welcomes him with a slightly warmer temperature and a gentler increase in light. The vertical garden glows softly, leaves silhouetted against the brightness. Outside the window, the sky has turned a deeper shade of orange, with faint streaks of pale violet near the horizon. "Welcome back, Kale," Luma says, in her soft, steady voice. "Your hydration and nutrition levels are within optimal range. Would you like a light meal?" "Yes," he answers quietly. "Something warm, something simple." A section of the wall near the small counter slides open with a gentle motion. Inside, a shallow bowl is revealed, filled with a warm, softly steaming blend of grains and vegetables grown in the dome. The surface glistens with a light, clear broth. The scent is mild and comforting, a mix of subtle spices and the natural sweetness of cooked plants. Kale carries the bowl to the small table near the seating platform. He sits, feeling the cushions adjusting to his weight, supporting his back and legs in all the right places. He takes a slow spoonful of the food, feeling the warmth on his lips, then on his tongue. The texture is soft, easy to chew, almost melting. The flavor is gentle and grounding. Each bite feels like a quiet reminder that he has everything he needs here: air, water, warmth, food, and a peaceful place to exist. Nothing more is required. He eats slowly, listening once more to the filtered sound of the Martian wind outside, and to the faint, steady heartbeat of the habitat systems embedded in the walls. Sometimes he glances up at the sky, where the light is gradually becoming softer, the colors deepening as the sun moves lower. The transition from day to evening is nowhere near dramatic. It is just a long, graceful fading. When he finishes his meal, he places the bowl back into the recessed alcove. The wall slides shut, the system quietly processing the remains, recycling every possible element back into the colony. Nothing is wasted here. Everything becomes part of the slow, endless cycle of life on Mars. "Would you like to see the exterior from the observation lounge?" Kale asks. He considers this for a moment. He imagines the lounge, a higher point in the dome, with wide windows and a slightly darker interior, designed for quiet viewing of the sky and plains. He feels a small pull in his chest, a gentle desire to watch the last light of the day from there. "Yes," he says, "guide lights, please." A soft pathway of light appears on the floor, stretching from his pod's doorway into the corridor beyond. He follows it, his steps slow and easy, feeling how his body responds to the subtle cues of color and intensity beneath his feet. The path leads him through a different part of the dome now, passing by doors he does not open, spaces he will visit another time. Finally, he reaches a wide, arching entrance. Beyond it lies the observation lounge. The space is quiet and dim, lit only by small, warm points of light near the floor and the glow from the vast window that curves upward and over the ceiling. From here, Kale can see much more of the world outside. The dome's structure is less visible, almost transparent, making it feel as though he is standing at the edge of the planet itself. The sky is now a deep orange, fading into purple-blue at the edges. Thin, high clouds catch the last light, glowing softly like strands of silk. He moves to a low, reclining chair facing the window. The material molds gently to his body as he leans back, cradling his shoulders, his spine, his legs. He rests his hands on the smooth surface of the armrests, feeling its gentle warmth. Below, the sand catches the warm colors of the setting sun. Every small ridge and ripple is defined by soft shadows, making the landscape look both delicate and endless. Farther away, small structures glint, equipment, reflectors, and transmission towers, all calm and still. Above, the first stars begin to appear. On Mars, the sky at night is sharp and clear, thin air allowing distant light to reach the eyes more directly. One by one, points of white and blue and faint red appear, scattered across the growing darkness. Soon, Phobos will rise, moving quickly across the sky like a quiet gray lantern. Kale takes a long, slow breath. "Luma," he says softly. "Reduce audio, please." The sounds of the habitat, already quiet, fade even further. Only the barest hint of wind remains, like a memory rather than a noise. The silence around him feels deep and protective. "You may imagine yourself here," he thinks, or perhaps quietly addresses any unseen listener. "You might imagine sitting in this chair, feeling the gentle support beneath your body. You might feel the calm weight of your limbs, softened by low gravity. You might look out at the endless red plains and the soft fading light and notice how your own thoughts begin to slow down, as if they are settling like dust after a gentle wind. As the last edge of the sun dips below the horizon, The colors deepen into dusky reds and purples, and then into midnight blue. Phobos appears, a small, misshapen moon, moving steadily across the sky. Its light is faint but sharp, casting delicate shadows near the edges of the dome. Kale watches it for a long time. He is not counting minutes. He is not thinking about tasks or plans. He is simply breathing and watching and being, letting the quiet of Mars wrap around him like a warm, dark blanket. Eventually, he feels the subtle heaviness that means his body is ready to rest. His eyelids feel a little heavier. His limbs feel comfortably warm and relaxed. His mind feels quiet, the usual stream of thoughts slowed to a gentle flow. "Luma," he whispers, barely louder than a breath. "Begin night sequence." "Of course," she replies softly, returning you to your pod, dimming external view, adjusting internal lighting to rest mode. The guide lights appear once again along the floor, even softer now, like fireflies leading the way. Kale rises from the chair slowly, feeling fully supported by the gentle pull of gravity and the softness of the material beneath his feet. He takes one last look at the sky, now filled with stars, and then turns back toward the corridor. The walk back feels slower, not because he is tired, but because the entire dome is shifting into night. Lights along the walls have dimmed to a warm amber glow. The vertical garden panels he passes are darker, their leaves slightly folded inward, as if the plants themselves are sleeping. Voices, if there are any, are now whispers behind closed doors. When he steps back into his living pod, the room greets him with soft, low light and a warm, embracing temperature. The window has dimmed, its transparency reduced, so that the outside view is no longer a sharp, bright presence. Instead, it looks like a soft painting of the night, blurred and gentle. The bed, his cocoon, is open, waiting. Its interior glows faintly with a quiet golden light. The surface of the mattress looks like calm water, smooth and inviting. As he approaches, the material responds, shaping itself in subtle ripples as if eager to hold him once more. Kale moves slowly, savoring the familiar ritual. He sits on the edge of the bed, letting his fingers trace small circles on the fabric. It feels cool at first, then slowly warms under his touch. His shoulders relax even more with this simple, quiet contact. "You've had a gentle day," Luma says, in a near whisper. "Your heart rate and breathing have stayed in a restful range. You have taken in enough nourishment and water. The garden systems are stable. The colony is calm. It is a good night to rest." Kale lies back, letting his body sink into the surface. The cocoon responds immediately, adjusting firmness and support under each part of him. His head finds the perfect angle, his neck supported in a way that releases every small tension. His lower back settles into softness, his legs cradled, his feet gently warmed. The upper shell of the bed begins to close slowly, not fully sealing, but folding inward enough to create a nest-like feeling, secure and protected. The light fades from golden to a very soft, dusky blue, then to a faint, warm gray. The air around him becomes a little cooler near his face, a little warmer around his chest and feet, creating a natural, comforting contrast. Above him, the ceiling inside the cocoon transforms into a gentle night sky. Not a perfect replica of Mars, not Earth, but something in between. A sky filled with soft, distant stars that do not glare, but glow. They seem to pulse slowly in time with his breathing. Inhale, they brighten just a little. exhale, they dim again. If you like, the voice murmurs, you can imagine that this sky is your own, each star a quiet thought that has settled, a worry that has softened, a question that no longer needs an answer tonight. Kale lets his eyes rest on the soft, glowing points. They blur slightly as his eyelids grow heavier. His breaths are deep and even now, each one a little slower than the last. His hands rest loosely at his sides, fingers relaxed and still. "You are safe," the voice continues, calm and low. "The dome is strong, the systems are balanced. The winds outside can blow and the sands can move, but inside all is quiet. You are sheltered, you are held, you are home." The sound of the Martian wind is barely audible now, just a soft, distant whisper beyond layers of structure and shielding. Inside the cocoon there is almost no noise at all, only the faintest hum, like the sound of a distant seashell you might hold to your ear. That hum is steady, unchanging, like a heartbeat that will never tire. Kale's thoughts drift lazily now. They no longer cling to specific images or memories. They float like dust motes in a shaft of light, moving slowly, gently, without direction or urgency. He lets them pass without reaching out to catch them. "You might notice," the voice suggests, "that your own thoughts are lighter now. You might feel them drifting further away, each one softer than the last. You do not need to hold on to anything. You do not need to do anything at all. There is nothing to fix, nothing to solve, only this moment and this breath and the quiet world around you." His chest rises and falls in a slow, peaceful rhythm. His eyelids are almost fully closed. If they open at all, they open only halfway, just enough to see a blur of light and shadow, then close again. The cocoon senses his approach toward sleep. It reduces the temperature by a fraction of a degree, encourages even deeper relaxation in his muscles, and lengthens the pauses between the AI's words. The bed's gentle vibrations slow and fade, leaving only stillness. "Outside," the voice says, very, very softly now, "the stars are watching over the red sands. The moons are moving along their quiet paths. The colony sleeps wrapped in its dome. You are part of that calm. You are part of that gentle, sleeping world." There is a long pause. Only breathing and silence remain. "If you wish," the voice adds in a final whisper, "you can drift now, as softly as Martian dust on the evening wind, as slowly as the setting sun, as peacefully as the quiet domes beneath the stars. There is time, there is space, there is only rest." The ceiling sky dims one last step, leaving only the faintest hint of starlight, like small distant lanterns in the dark. Kale's breath evens out into the deep, steady rhythm of sleep. His body is completely relaxed, every muscle surrendered to the cocoon's gentle support. His mind has slipped beyond the edge of waking, into a place where nothing is urgent and everything is soft. Outside the dome, the red planet turns silently beneath a field of stars. Winds move across the empty plains, reshaping the sand grain by grain, patient and calm. Inside, the habitat hums quietly, a cradle of air, warmth, and light, held safe against the vastness. Night deepens, the world rests, and somewhere inside that quiet, glowing cocoon, one small human sleeps, safe and warm on Mars, carried gently through the endless, peaceful night.